two, one, action.
Sorry. The beginning. All right, we won't put that in there. Coming in with another episode of the Check-In, and I'm here with the main man, Drake, aka Drizzy Drake, aka Drake Ekamalian. Let's get
Thank
it.
you.
Hey, Drake. So, introduce everybody. Introduce yourself to everybody. How long you been a real estate agent for?
Well, I'm going on my third year now, working full time here with Isaac. I love my job. I love what I do. I love the people that I'm able to work with, and I love that what I'm able to provide to people, value wise, is great for them in the long term and short term. It just everything that we are able to provide for our clients is top notch service. Kind of
No,
got
all
me
good, bro.
nervous.
All good. Hey, it's okay to be nervous. You got this guy walking behind us. You know what I mean? It's a live podcast. You know.
It's all good.
Yeah. But no. So speaking of service, I mean, what does service mean to you when you help somebody buy a home, right? It's not like they're going out and buying an apple at a grocery store, right?
Right.
They're not buying the newest AirPods at the Mac store, right?
Right.
The Apple store.
Right.
What do you mean by service?
So, what I mean by service is not just the customer service aspect of being readily available to my clients pretty much at all times, um, but also being well educated and well versed on what's going on in the world, economically speaking, so that I'm able to give good, solid advice to my clients. Because you're right, it's not a piece of fruit. It's not the newest iPhone. It's where you're going to be living for, statistically the next 5 to 10 years. So it's a pretty big investment for pretty much anyone who's looking to buy. It's always one of the biggest things that they do. in their
Yeah,
life.
nice.
So
Let me ask you. So you've been licensed for 3 years. How old were you when you entered this business? Because a lot of people may not know that. How old
yeah,
were you?
I was 19.
19 years old.
Yes.
You decided what made you decide to get your real estate license?
So my mother has been an agent for a new home builder locally for over 20 years now.
Okay, so your family was in the business.
Family was in the business. I saw that she she had a really cool job in my opinion. When I was real little, I used to walk people through the models. And I
Yeah.
used to think that was kind of fun, so I kind of grew up around it, grew up in it.
Yeah,
My
so
family
being
was
like of an assistant in a
yeah,
way when she was younger, ain't nothing cooler than being
yeah.
a kid walking in a new home and imagining yourself living there.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So that was part of it from a young age, and then I mean, really, the dinner table talk was real estate, the economy, stuff like that. So I
So
was
early on, you had an understanding of the possibilities of what this business was about.
exactly, yeah.
Nice. Now, let me ask you this question: like, what was the biggest culture shock once you became licensed and actually got into the industry yourself, as a young adult per se, right? Legally, not legal age in the U.S. to drink, but enough to get your license as real
Yes,
estate.
yes.
What was the biggest culture shock for you to learn?
The biggest culture shock for me was, truthfully, the avenue I was looking to take was I was going to follow in my mom's footsteps and do the new home sales as well. But I had met Isaac. Isaac had a
Dun dun
relationship. All right.
dun.
I went to the dark side.
Yeah.
I had actually met with a couple different agents or different brokerages, excuse
Yeah.
me, because you get the mailers and everything, and I figured I was submitting my applications to these
Yeah.
new home builders, and I was man, maybe I need to do something.
You're in the
for
process
time
of getting
being.
your interviews out there, right?
Yeah,
So, like,
exactly.
what people don't know is real estate's not like the NFL draft where we check the highlights of the individuals, right? This is a
Right.
blind date in a way.
Yeah,
When we,
exactly.
as a broker,
Yeah.
we're interviewing a new agent. We want to make sure is are we going to be able to do business with this person? Can we help grow this person? Is this person able to be mentored and coached? Well, at least we do that, right? Not every brokerage does that. They just hire anybody, and anybody has a license. We want to be selective to who we're in business with, and most importantly, we want to make sure that they know, that we don't just bring anybody on. That this is a business, and we want to ensure that we also enrich their lives in the process, right? So
Some
you get
quality
all these
control.
mailers. You get all these brokers basically saying "pick me." Almost, it's almost as
Yeah.
like it's a blind date in a way, and
Yeah.
you meet them.
And I went in with pretty much all. I went to four of them. And I won't name the other ones.
Yeah.
But Isaac was kind of, my mom actually was like, you should talk to Isaac. And I was like,
Yeah.
Mom, I really don't want to know. I don't know know if I
And
want to do that.
she's like the local mayor. She's a legend in the industry. I've done many transactions with her, and have worked very well. And she knows what she's doing.
Yeah. And she said, why don't you go talk to him? And, I kind of came in with the same mindset. I'm still wanting to work.
No,
with
no.
you.
You came in with shirt, tie, briefcase, resume, and your goal sheet.
Yes,
Like, here are my
actually,
goals. This is
yeah.
what I'm going to be doing. And
Yeah.
I loved it. I saw that. I was like, dude, I love this. This is
I
exactly
forgot about
what
that.
you want to have.
Yeah. And,
Yeah.
man, I couldn't tell Isaac this, but by the time I was done with our little interview, because it is, blind date kind of thing, I
Yeah.
was like, man, where do I sign?
Yeah. Woo!
Cut through all the BS with everything, broke it down,
Yeah.
showed where he provided value, and his morals and my morals, I feel like they aligned on a lot
Yeah.
of different levels, and we believe in putting our clients first and
Absolutely.
truly
Without-
doing the best for doing what's best for them over
Yeah.
anything else.
I'll tell you right now, if you're not putting your client first, you're not going to make it in this business, right? This industry is very rewarding to those that take care of people, okay? And sometimes in doing that, we have to sometimes sacrifice ourselves in the process by sometimes maybe even stepping outside and not servicing the client because we cannot help them with their goals. Sometimes I don't want to use the word fire, but sometimes we feel that certain clients may work better with what they're trying to achieve.
Elsewhere.
Well, yeah, like on Netflix, right? Like, hey, you know what? There's a show selling selling Sunset. They can help you.
Yeah.
But it's about being realistic, I guess, right? With respect to your clients, but they always come first, no matter what. And our goal to service them, like you say, at a high level. Let me ask you, what's one of the? Can you give me, since you are somewhat newer in the business, have you had a oh shit moment? Like, oh shit, did I just do that? Because I got a pretty funny one for you.
Man, I try to be pretty thorough, and I usually double check everything, especially if I can run it through people. But man, I'm sure that I've dropped the ball one way or another since the beginning. But
you got Alexa; she's there to get your back.
Yes,
she's there to help you.
yes.
But like,
My
tell me something
safety
funny.
net.
Like, have you ever like left a house with a key, for the lockbox in your car? Have you done any of that yet? That's what I mean by oh shit moment.
Man, man, I can't. I don't think we should put this one out
Okay,
there.
we're not going to put that one out there, but I'll tell you this one. So I had a newer agent, a super cool guy, man. He lives in San Luis Obispo. He's actually the brother of one of our favorite agents here at the office, and he had a client. And it's not to be like weird or anything, but he had a client that anytime he would show them a home, they would have to use the restroom, and it wasn't just number one. It was the other one. And they would use the restroom. And he's like, man, I felt so bad because at first, the first time it happened, I thought, hey, it was a one-off. And I have this big policy, like, please, whatever you do, never let your clients use the restroom at a listing. I just think it's just a little like, it's not, I wouldn't say appropriate, but I guess you got to, some people kick tires, others test the plumbing, right?
Yeah, I guess
So
so.
he's like, after the third time taking him out, it happened again. And then he said the fourth time, he just had to bring Febreze. And he just had it in the car and had to give a polite little spray afterwards. He said he felt so bad because after he was leaving the house, after his last show and he was locking it up, clients left, he said that the homeowner returned and he was in the house hitting it with Febreze, and he said that the homeowner, you could tell on their face, it just dropped blank. And I'm thinking to myself, as a new agent, he had to experience that, and he felt bad because of his client. But I think after the fifth time it did happen, and the client decided that the plumbing was just right enough for them to write the offer, got the house offer accepted. But those are real things new agents have to deal with. So
Lucky
that's
for him.
extreme. But have you dealt with anything like that or close to that yet in your career?
Wow, that is pretty extreme. Man, I think that I've been pretty blessed that most of my transactions have gone pretty smooth.
Yeah.
I've had some transactions that were a little more bumpy for some other reasons,
Yeah.
but
In real estate,
all,
nothing's ever going to go perfect, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Right?
And
There's
that-
always going to be something funky. But the good thing is you have somebody who's dedicated to the process, dedicated to the client to ensure that it goes smooth, right? So if there is a bump, the client felt the ripple, not the wave.
Right, exactly.
Right? That's the whole big thing.
I think that's another big part of our job too that kind of gets swept under the rug. Unfortunately, as realtors, we wear a lot of different hats.
Oh, yeah.
Marriage counselors, therapists.
Oh, yeah. I remember
yeah,
you. Speaking of marriage, divorce attorney as well. You
Yep.
had some of those situations happen.
All sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
So, it ultimately comes down to you know, how well you're able to deal
Well,
with those
let me ask you
situations.
this one before we cut. What would be one of the biggest eye-opening things that you would say you're grateful for in this business? Can you name a time of a situation where maybe you're like, dude, I love what I do. I'm grateful for this.
Well, I try to count my blessings often. I really genuinely do. And I will say that there's been countless times where I've called on colleagues who have selflessly helped me, you know, with
Nice.
no expectations of anything in between, and helped work me through or walk me through problems that I was having, and just afterwards being like, man, I'm glad that I had that community
support,
support.
yeah.
And you know, even talking to you, I'm like, man, that's why Isaac's the man. You know,
Yeah.
he helped me with a deal the other day, and I was like, man, that's just that outside thinking that comes
Yeah.
with being in the industry for over 20 years, and
Yeah.
that's again part of the immense value here.
Yeah, I was 19 when I got in this business, and I had to learn from the ground up. And it was good mentorship that helped me get to where we're at today, and to be able to share, and then learning other people's experiences. What would you give advice to a brand new agent who's entering the business? What would you tell them? First thing they should be doing.
I would say talk to your psychologist first and see what you're thinking.
Yep. Okay.
Because if you think you're getting away from 9 to 5, you're working 24/7.
Yeah, it's entrepreneur life.
But yeah, it's entrepreneurial life. But in reality, I would say that the biggest advice that I can give to anyone is truly interview the companies that you're looking to work with, and try to find a place that you feel works best for you. Because, you know, different strokes for different folks, kind of thing. You know, there's
Find your tribe.
find your tribe.
Find
There
your
we go.
tribe. Find a tribe of successful mentors and people that are going to help you along the way.
Right.
That's what's up. Well, thank you for checking in, Drake.
Thank you very much. I
All right.
appreciate it.
Take care.
Cool.